my tutorial for the sugar scroll. If you guys are interested in finding out how to make this look come to life, then stay tuned and keep watching.
Hi guys, today's tutorial is going to be about the Day of the Dead.
Dia Delos Muertos.
Someone say it for me. I'm getting there. I'll practice. Anyways, the lady that owns Spooks and Bloom Costumes had reached out to me July, I want to say, and she wanted to do a costume and have me do a look for her. And I am so excited because her costumes are wicked dope. They are all handmade, handcrafted. She does corsets, big tutus, she does accessories, she does like the whole nine. So at the end of the tutorial, I'm going to make sure that I link her Etsy shop down at the bottom. But her stuff is amazing. She does all kinds of stuff besides Day of the Dead. That way you guys can check her out, see if you need something before Halloween. Even if it is just a small accessory that you can't find in the store that you need made, or you have a vision of what you want, she is the girl that you're going to want to get it done from.
It's going to be Day of the Dead. I know it's a very traditional look with a lot of the Halloween stuff that's going on. A lot of people do it. It's a great last minute look. But this year for my 31 Days of Halloween, I'm not doing just over the top gory stuff that not everybody can do, but I want to make sure I can incorporate stuff that everybody can do. Day of the Dead is a great last minute costume that anybody and everybody can do, and you can do it with pretty basic makeup. You don't have to go get anything special for that day to do it. You don't have to have a white face if you don't want to. I know it's kind of taken out of its traditional stuff, and everybody's kind of like made it more trendy and whatnot. So you don't have to go traditional if you don't want to. You can kind of do it how you want. Make it your own. Do all kinds of fancy designs. Throw some gems on there. Put some glitter, or don't. I'm gonna go with more of a matte look on everything today. I don't want to do too much shimmer or bling. The costume is very detailed. And I want the costume to kind of speak, but I want the face to kind of just bring it all together and whatnot. So the face will be detailed, but it's not going to be extravagant. We're going for mattes. You'll get some contours and some details and some color. No gems, no shimmers, no glitters, and all that jazz. So anyways.
So first, what I like to do with any of my big looks, especially when you're painting your face and whatnot, you'll see all the makeup artists use, is to get a white eyeliner of any sort. Mine is a Wet n Wild Wet n Wild Color Icon pencil. I know a lot of people use the NYX ones. NYX works just fine. I just happen to have these on hand. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and draw the circles around my eyes. I'm going to draw the hole on my nose for the skull. I'm going to mark some areas for my cheekbones and around my lips for my skull face. And there you have it. All my white lines are in place, so I know where my harsh lines are going to be, where I want to contour or shade and that kind of stuff. Just my basic guidelines. The nice thing about white pencils is they rub off really easily. I did a very washed down version of my foundation, which I didn't explain to you guys. I should have. All I did, instead of putting, I didn't want a super white face. I wanted to do more of a semi-natural with a little bit of white in it. But I didn't want to be Casper the Friendly Ghost. All I did was I took a regular foundation and mixed in a little bit of white cream paint, and then I set that. So I'm a little bit lighter than I should be, but I'm not white. But you can do it however you guys want to. And then I went ahead and set my lines and everything like that. And then next we can get started. Usually I go straight for my eyes first. So let's get started. Now, anytime that I do any of my eye makeup, I like to put a shade or two on there before I do any of my other main colors. So what I generally use is the Balm's Meet Matrimony palette. I use the two lightest shades just because that was what works for me. I use these two right here. I'll just blend them across so I have a good even base on my eyelids before I start putting on any type of shadow. And since we're going to be putting shadow in all of this nice little round circle, I am just going to go in and put it and fill it all in in the entire area. That way when I'm putting down the black shadow that I'm going to put in here, it will help blend it, have a smoother transition with everything. Because right now we just got all the base and it's set. Don't ask me why I like to put two colors. It just seems to work better. Nothing creases for me. I don't use anything special on my eyes. I usually just do concealer and I do a color corrector because I have dark circles, and then I have, you can see all my veins because I'm so light. So I will do all of that on my eyelids and under my circles and set it. And it does the job. Well done. I did the two light shades, just buffed it all around so we don't have any issues. Next, what I want to do with the circles is I really just want to go in with the black. I'm going to fill them in with black. As black as we can get with everything. And then I'm going to buff it out on the edges. I think what I'm going to do first though is I'm going to first go in with a black pencil. I should be looking at the screen, not down. I'm going to go in with a black pencil just to go around the inner circle so that when I go to put the powder in, it stays in. And when I go to buff, we're good. We're not going to make like a whole mess here, there, and everywhere because, you know, you get black powder anywhere, it's going to be everywhere. So easily. And then we're going to be looking like we got beat up, and that's not what we're trying to do today. No.
It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to buff this all out. We're going to put eyeshadow over it and everything like that. So anything's going to be covered never has to be perfect. Unless you're trying to change the shape of your circle, then you should have done that before you put the black on. Because now you have to start all over. And we don't want to do that. Please pardon my voice. I'm sorry, I got sick this weekend. I don't know what it is. It's been humid here. We're in New England. It's humid. And for whatever reason, I've got this scratchy throat. And my voice is just like, hello there. How you doing? Like, no. I'm not a fan. Y'all know what I'm saying though. Like, you look at cute and you go around with the sound like a man. No.
Anyways, I don't know if you guys are familiar with NYX's primal colors. I have every shade of these, and let me tell you, when you're missing a color, the primal shades are like the best ones. And I pulled out a few of those to use today with the mix of palettes that I'm going to use. But I have every single one of these. They come in handy every time of this year. This time of year, Halloween. I don't always reach for them, but when you don't have that, I don't use a lot of reds. I got a red. Greens, oranges, and yellows. I don't use a lot of those colors, but I have them from NYX. And when you mix them, you can make the colors that you need to. Ulta usually has a sale for them. Buy one, get one half off. That's when I grabbed them, and I grabbed every color. Now, if your palette, you have other palettes that have some of these colors, especially black, like everybody who owns Morphe, this shade is in like every freaking palette. You want to make those dark creases, dark corners, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. But if you want the primal colors, the basic colors, just when you're doing stuff, NYX primal colors, they're great. They blend well. NYX is a great drugstore company that does the job. For anybody who doesn't know, I use a lot of NYX stuff, and I have a lot more that I want to try and use and get used to, just like everybody else. Anyways, we're going in with, I use a lot of crown brushes. This is a blending fluff brush. They're very dense, but I can pack it on and I can go through and blend it out really, really well. But I love crown brushes. These are the ones I've been using for some time, and they do great with blending and whatnot. I don't have a particular favorite or anything like that. I don't use a particular brush. It just does the job. Usually most brushes, you can work with them to get them to do what you want. You just got to be careful with how much you put on it and how you're using it. Generally, when you're using your brush too, you want to use it more towards the end. I know we all tend to grab more towards the front. It's just a habit because that's how we write. If you grab towards the end, you want to go with the light hand when you go in and work. That way you're not packing on too much. You're not like really stabbing at somebody, especially if you're doing their makeup. You don't want anybody jabbing at your eye. I wouldn't want someone jabbing at my eye. I'm not going to come see you again and pay to have my makeup done. So, your brush, hold it towards the end. I tend to go light and do swirls. For this look, we're going straight black and we're just going to blend the edges. So I'm going to go in a little bit more dense, pack it in and just blend it in so we don't have any weird holy spots and all that kind of stuff. But just keep an eye when you're doing regular makeup and when we go around the blend. You just want to go light on the end. You don't have extra. You want to tap off that excess, not access, excess. When you're using it. But light hand, end of your brush, and just go slow with little swirls. That's what I do. Then new pack it on, you go back in, dab where you want it, swirl. Go slow. Circular motions helps blend it so you're not doing too much. The slower you go, the littler you go, and you build it up. Also, when I do my colors, I like to start with the light colors and build up. Some people like to start with dark and go to light. It's all the preference. Just like if you do your brows first.
We're just gonna put that in there like so.
Get as close as you can to that line. Don't be scared. Just work slow. I'm going kind of fast. It's because I'm familiar with the brushes, but you are familiar with your brushes, so just go in and pack it in. If you're scared to get close to that line, go in with a smaller brush. That's another key. You go in with a brush that's too big to blend and do work on smaller areas. That's how you goof. My brush, you can't see it. It's not that big. Is it better? It's not big at all for what I'm working with. Just going in. I'm really just patting it in. Not doing anything too extra. Now you see I get to the line now. I feel like the black's doing well. Kind of buff it out a little bit. And I feel like there's not much color left on the brush. You can tell. And see how that's working in? Nice and dark, no patches. You just gotta work in sections and go slow and really pack it in. And that's with any color in your lids. When you wanna work it in and blend it, you just gotta pack it in and blend it slowly. It's a process. Can't rush the process until you've mastered it. That's when you can challenge yourself and do those. You know, like they do makeup in like 5 minutes or 20 minutes. Bless their soul, I never could, but that's when you can do such things. I don't know if I'm about that life. Doing makeup in like 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know. I enjoy the process too much. I like sitting here for hours and making things come to life in perfection. I don't know what y'all, but that's just me. Alright, so we worked all the way up to that line. The white line is even gone. I worked it over the white line. Buffed it just a smidge, but I didn't want to like buff it out. I want to get a blending brush to do so. I don't know if you can see it, but it's almost like a slight gray around it at this point. So there's one eye. I'm going to quickly do the next eye for you, and then we're going to get on to the next step. Be right back. Okay, my camera died, but we're back. Anyways, we're gonna go in with a much smaller brush. As you can see, the tip is much finer, more dense. This is a crown brush, smoky eyeliner brush. I'm gonna go with black right along that line right there, just to give it that more cut, finished look, and then we'll blend that out as well. always start with a light hand. And you always want to start where you want it the darkest. Because at first you always have the most product on your brush. So you start where you want it the darkest. Just like you do your eye. You always want it darker in the corner, then you work your way in. Same concept.
I'm just using the tip of this just to blend this in just a little bit as I go. So it's just not such a harsh line. Towards the end of the look, once we have everything blended, we go back in and we clean up those lines just a little bit more depth so everything is a little bit more defined and whatnot. But for right now, we're just worried about getting the product down and blending it. See that line? Nice and clean now. All blended. I kind of want to pack in some more right now. Babe's over here sleeping on the bed. And I do makeup. She loves being here when I do makeup. Follows me everywhere. I'm going back right in again with that black. Clean up that line one more time. There you go. One line down, one more to go. As you can see, it's just really a process to get the pigment that you want and to blend it all in the way you want to. And then you go back in and add the details. So this side is done. I'm going to go ahead and do this side off camera and we'll be right back.
Alright, so here we have it. Both lines are done. Creating that line, so it kind of looks like a skull here. Next, I kind of wanted to put some purple under here, and then we're going to add some details and whatnot to what we wanted to do. I might even like smoke it out a little bit on the top, but we're going to build up the purple a little bit because I don't want it too intense. I'm actually going to go in with NYX's primal color. It's a hot fuchsia. It's a purple. And we're going to go in with a Morphe palette in 35P. It's one of my favorite colors because I love color palettes because I love purple. We're going to be using this bad boy right here. All mattes. We're going to go on light, but I just want to smoke it in here. Then we want to go in with details on top of it. Just kind of like it's bold and it stands out. Alright. So I'm just going to do it right along the lines of this black on the bottom. Almost like it's blush, but it's kind of blended all in right on the apples of my cheeks. Going in with a real fluffy brush just to put it in so it's not too heavy. I don't want the color dominating too much, but I want it to blend right in with everything that's already there. I'm gonna go in with a little bit darker purple in this Morphe 35P palette. And I'll list all this stuff down below for you guys because it's a whole lot of stuff. But I really love the Morphe palettes. Anybody who's used them knows how, one, affordable they are, two, amazing they are. I do think they do have a lot of repetitive colors in their palettes, which I know a lot of people do complain about, but they're amazing. They're great, not only for personal use, but if you are taking on clients and whatnot, they're great to have in the kits and whatnot, because it gives you so many options, and if you forget something, there's just, it's all there for you. They're great. I love them. I have so many of them. I also love crown brush palettes. The ones I really stick with are Morphe Crown Brush and Juvia's Place are my biggest ones that I use the absolute most. Juvia's Place, I need like all of them. If you have not tried those palettes, they're even more affordable than Morphe, and their quality is probably better. Yep, I said it. But you will love them. I don't think I've ever been disappointed by... I have 2 of their palettes. I'm not disappointed by them, and all their other palettes just look freaking amazing. Like, beyond amazing. I can't even tell you. All I'm doing is layering this purple right around the edge of that black on the eye, so it blends right in. Nothing's weird. Sounds like I got like punched really good. Really wasn't going for that, but I guess that's kind of just how it happened. I think I might blend it a little more. I don't know. Things I like about looks is, I know some people like really plan these out. I'm kind of a wing it girl. Like, I have a basic concept in my head, but some of the things you really just have to wait till you get in there to kind of see what they look like. Like when it comes down to details, if you're gonna add glitter, if you're gonna add painted little details or jewels, you really have to get in there to see if it needs that extra pop or not, because sometimes it'll be overkill and it's too much, and then you go, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and then you feel like you ruined the whole thing and can't use it. So I'm kind of like, here's my concept, I might do extra today, I might not, and sometimes the extra I love and nobody else loves, but that's just everybody's style. We all have our own style, right? More coffee. I'm like on my 3rd cup today. But this throat is killer. Saving my soul. Anyway, so there's that. Let's get this little, we're going back to this smoky eye blending brush just to take the top up just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And I didn't add any pigment to this brush by any means. I'm just taking the product that's already in my eye and blending it even more for right now. I feel like I need to add color. Looks like there's some spots in my eye that needs some more pigment. Some more black shadow. So I will go back in with the other brush and do that. I don't want to add color to this. I'm just using the existing that's on my face. I'm just blending it a little bit more, smudging it out. Because I don't want black everywhere. I'll be really mad at myself if I do that. Because you don't want you to get black in your finger. Has anybody seen that Mikey video where she goes to do like a smoky eye and she ends up getting like, it's like everywhere. The poor girl. And we've all been there. We go, we totally feel your pain. Oh my god. Oh my god, we feel your pain. We all get that. I'm trying to be good though. Alright, I'm gonna take this brush and put some more black in because it's kind of driving me crazy. Crazy. Has anybody else debated on what they're doing for like Halloween yet? Like, I've been like contemplating Halloween since July. I've seen so many of the new Halloween movies, like It. A lot of people are doing that. Annabelle. super exciting. I haven't seen any of the movies yet. I know I'm horrible. I do like horror stuff, just between makeup business and mom life. Sometimes things can't happen, and that's okay. Yeah. But also, if you guys have requests, things you want to see, and it doesn't necessarily have to be some full out thing like this. Request of a video you want to see, mini thing, basic things, because once Halloween's done, I'm gonna jump right into regular stuff, a few glam things, basic, my foundation routine, my skin routine. I have a cool one I want to do about some do-it-yourself skin routine stuff that I've been doing and trying, because if there's any makeup enthusiast or makeup artist out there that hasn't tried that, I'd be really surprised. I mean, because who isn't curious? One of the best things about being in this industry is trying all the new products and seeing how they work for you or feel and whatnot, and then telling all your friends about it, because who doesn't want to do that? And when I see stuff that I've tried and I look at people and I'm like, oh, this would work for you, you need it in your life, and they're like, oh really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all been there. Don't act like you haven't. I feel creepy talking to you like this because I feel like don't. Is it too much purple? I'm gonna go with no. It's not too bad. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and ooh. Take it out. I'll buff some of it out. Buff some of it out. Hey girl. Mad serious also. Or unserious? What do you call it? Serious? Am I ever serious? My mother that question. She would get an excellent response. Excellente. Next, we're gonna move on to details. The most tedious part of this that takes the most time generally. So we're gonna do the next clip. Get your itty weeny teeny weeny little brushes ready. No, I wasn't gonna say anything else. I know what y'all was thinking. I wasn't gonna be inappropriate. Teeny weeny brushes. Get those ready. Alright, so here's the part where we're gonna get to the details. I don't have any planned pattern for details that I want to do. I'm winging this part, but just so you know what I'm using, you can use a variety of things. Liquid lipstick that'll dry down completely. You can use liquid liner for this part. I personally am using water-based paints. Add a little water, they go right on. Paint away. These are Wolfe Faceart FX. I got this bad boy, I think it was on their website. It's about $25. You get a little bit of each color just to try it out, see if you like the palette or not, or even the brand. I got this last year, and for Halloween this year, I got a big cake of black and white. It works for me. I like it. The only thing with water-based is the more movement you do, you can see it kind of wear off. So if you're wearing it on your neck or any spot on your face that's moving a whole lot, you'll see it wear off throughout the night. But cream-based, you gotta set and all that jazz, and those can be a little bit of a pain as well. So for everyday regular people that do makeup and you're not into the big stuff for Halloween, water-based stuff is really the way to go. And this is your cheapest version that you get. Mayron is a great brand too. They're just a little bit more expensive. And this stuff you keep in the house. You do these for birthday parties and that kind of stuff. Anybody who really knows how to do body painting, or even you want to learn, they give you books. I ordered stuff and they give you all kinds of books and stuff. You can order books off their website and all that kind of stuff. So I'm actually gonna go in with the light As you see, they pop right out. So if you don't want the whole palette out, they pop right out for you. You can get refills like this too if you don't want to keep buying big cakes. Like I said, they're big. They come in different sizes. They're full circle. I don't have one out right now. It's in my drawer. But you can buy a cake of it. That's what they call them. A pan. A pan, like a shadow pan, but they're huge. 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 Anyways, so for these, all you gotta do is take a brush. I'm actually using one of Tarte's, because I can't go like this, it doesn't focus. This is actually their liner brush for their liquid liners. Their Tarte's liquid liners, I believe. These bad boys. And this brush on the end is the best. And for doing any of my detail stuff, I've actually ordered, not from Tarte, but I found some nail art brushes that are going to be really good for doing detailed stuff and whatnot. Which I found in the makeup industry, a lot of people order the nail art stuff to help with details and whatnot. Because they're smaller brushes. Even they go to the craft stores and order smaller brushes to be able to do all the detailed stuff. I even found out some people practice on grains of rice. That's how serious they get about this stuff to get it done and get it done right. So that's just an idea of how far people take it. Just so you know, tidbit of information for you today. Educational. Yes, sir. Alright, so all I'm gonna do, I always keep a shot glass. I have like tons of shot glasses. Halloween shot glasses. But I keep shot glasses at my makeup table and I fill them with water. Nobody wants a huge cup of water at their table and all of a sudden it spills and it goes all over your makeup. I don't care if you got a palette, you got sponges, brushes, whatever. You could have costume out, whatever you have out. You don't want a ton of water everywhere. You could have electronics out. Like I have all my lights out right now. I can have my computer here, my iPad, charging stuff. You don't want that. A little cup of water. You don't need a ton of water for these bad boys. Keep some paper towels around if you're switching between colors. If you don't have multiple brushes. Like I said, these clean off real easy. It's like paints with kids. With this, do your thing. Wet as you need to. Keep going. You want to switch your color, you dab it in the water. Put it in paper towel, brush it off, and you're good to go for the next color. Pretty simple and straightforward, except for these are super pigmented. They dry quickly. They're great. The only thing I'm going to tell you, do not keep wearing these. The more you keep putting like wet stuff on it, when you re-wet these, what do you think is going to happen? You're correct. It's just going to make a mess. You're just going to keep wetting it, and it's going to keep getting everywhere, and it's going to come off, go back on. You can try layering it and fixing it, and you're just going to keep making little spots here and there, and you're going to get mad, and you're going to get frustrated. So, keep that in mind when you're layering it. You can dry brush them, like wet the brush, then touch this after the fact, but usually I go right in, wet the paint, then go and paint. Alright, then being educational. Then we're just gonna go in with some designs. I don't even know what we're doing. I'm gonna add some dots, some swirls, some lines, just to give it some fun and funkiness, make it look kind of maybe like a mask. We're just doing details around the eyes at this point. I have a headpiece to wear with this costume, so I don't know if I'm really gonna put anything on my forehead at this point, because if I have a headpiece, I don't want anything to be covered at all. So anytime I'm doing detailed work, I go very, very slowly and I do it light. And I will go back in and do it just a little bit more the next time, just so the lines are thicker, they're more visible, but you go very light. And sometimes if it's a big pattern, I will do like dotted lines. That way I can connect them and I'm not making a mess or messing things up. Now these, you can work them off if you want to get a, I take the other side of the brush if I need to wet it and like kind of flick it off and it'll come off. But remember, it's going to affect your base. So you have to work carefully and slowly. This isn't something to like rush through. This is the part where I take my time. If you ever see me with detailed eyes and liners and this kind of stuff, I took my time. That was probably an extra 30 minutes added onto a look. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's dots. And I haven't connected them yet because I want to make sure they're spaced well, they're legible, and whatnot. So what I'm going to go through now is I'm going to put more paint on my brush. I'm going to connect them. I'm going to go slowly. I don't want to do the same pattern all the way around my eye. I don't want to have too many patterns. It's not what I'm going for today. It's not. Also, I always rub my brush on the side. You don't want too much because then you end up with like puddles. If it's too thick of a line, it's too watery, it's gonna drip. Then there goes your whole look. Please, don't do it to yourself. Please. You don't want too much water. Water isn't always your friend. Keep that in mind. There's a few swirls just around it. I didn't want to go the way around. I think that's enough for me. Maybe I need to add one more to make it symmetrical. Damn it. OCD. Damn it.
One more. Sheesh. Your detail cards be forever on my side. Tell him. This detail card was on my side.
Fixed it. I did it backwards. I got lucky there. So I say you gotta go slow and watch what you're doing. Boo-boos and accidents happen, and they're not always fixable. And Halloween night, if you have kids and you're rushing around to school night, it's going to be difficult. Don't do it to yourself. Just don't. Make it as easy as possible. You don't have to do all these details. You can do different details than I do. You can do X's. You don't gotta do swirls. You can do dots. You can do cute dots. You get a stamp that does cute dots. Then you don't have to. It's way easier than what I'm doing. Way easier. And I added some X's and some dots just around the top, just to give it some little oomph and some pizzazz. So now I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other side real quick for you. Alright, now we got both sides done with the white. I'm going to do a little bit more detail. I think my friend's going to do under the eye. And then we're just going to finish up the look. We'll go with the lips and a few other lines around the lips and all that does. So really, like I said, doing the details, you really just got to take your time and have the right brush to do so. And you can use numbers and numbers and numbers of products. It doesn't have to be the same stuff. The water-based paints that I have. There's so many different things that you can use now. more details on the cheeks. I'm gonna go ahead now and grab out the black paint so that I can go in and fill in my nose. My nose, my nose. Another tip about these Wolfe body paints is some of them do get kind of shiny. Be aware when you use them, and if you're taking pictures, they can be kind of shiny. So get that reflection off of them on occasion. If you don't care, more power to you. You can try an eyeshadow to put on top of it to help mattify it, or a translucent powder. But I've heard some people have had difficulties with that, so it's all up to you if you want to chance it or not. Alright, there we go. Now for a lip. Colors in the costume are primarily red and purple. So I am trying to stick within that realm. That's true, right? I love red. I'm gonna go with Milani's Mattely in Love. This is one of their metallic lip creams. I know I said no mattes, but I mean no metallics, but you know, we'll make an exception. So let's get, ooh, and I'm gonna use L'Oreal Color Rich's matte pencil from this line. If you guys haven't tried the Color Rich lipsticks, the bomb. They're pigmented. They aren't even matte. They're actually have some sheen to them, so your lips aren't flat, but they look like pretty good. I really like them. Really need to wear lipsticks more. I'm so obsessed with like liquid lipstick. I think everybody's at this point in their life. Now when I do my lipsticks, liquid lips, anything of that sort, I always put the lip pencil all over my lips. Always, always. Seems to help them last longer and get a more even application. I put lip balm on way before we started any of this. So my lips are ready to go. I don't normally have any lip issues. Thank goodness, knock on wood. Alright guys, so here's the finished look. I'm sorry, my camera cut out, so I didn't get to finish. But all I did was put that Milani lipstick on, and then I put black writings on with my black body paint that I had. And then I put some mascara and false lashes on from Felina Lashes, which I will link all of the products that I've used down below. This is the finished look. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. I will put some photos in at the end so you guys can see the full look. These photos will also be up on my Instagram for you guys once they're posted, but I won't have any video with the full costume. But anyways, thank you for coming to visit my tutorial. I am so excited that we are here. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Hit that little button on the bottom. Hit the bell. So you know when I've popped up and come to a house near you. Anyways, thanks so much guys. Love you. I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye-bye.